Join us right now, Senator John Barrasso. He serves as the Foreign Relations Committee, which will oversee the hearing. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Help us try to understand what you are going to be trying to understand and seek in terms of information tomorrow during this hearing from Mr. Tillerson.
Sure. All of us in a bipartisan way want to make sure our country is safe, strong, and secure, and foreign relations is such a key part of this, especially over the last 8 years where, in my opinion, we are less strong as a nation and less respected around the world. So I believe those are the questions that Rex Tillerson is going to get from both sides of the aisle. He knows the world, traveled widely, obviously ran a large corporation, and I want to talk to him about the use of leverage to get what we need for a safe and strong America.
Senator, I don't need to tell you, but the headlines on Rex Tillerson around this confirmation hearing have all been related to his relationship with Russia and with Putin over the years, along with Exxon's huge investment in Russia. How do you think about those things?
Well, I visited with him for 45 minutes last week. We had a lengthy discussion about Russia and other places around the world. And because of Rex Tillerson's background in energy, he understands, as does Vladimir Putin, that energy is called the master resource for a reason. It powers our economy. It powers our military. It's important for jobs. Putin uses energy as a weapon geopolitically. I believe the United States ought to be using our energy as a geopolitical weapon, and I'm going to talk to Rex Tillerson about that tomorrow.
One of the other questions that's come up this morning, as it happens, we had a conversation with Senator Roger Wicker earlier about the Ethics and Compliance Office, which has suggested that some of the nominees and the transition team has slow-walked the Senate in terms of the information that they have gotten. He said, actually, that it's the Ethics Office which is slow-walking you. What's really happening?
Well, I've read the reports. I know that the director of the Ethics Office is an Obama appointee. But we are on schedule right now in terms of the hearings, as they were when President Obama came into office, when President George W. Bush came into office. Hold hearings before Inauguration Day so that a president can have a working cabinet, and right now, especially a national security force in place on Inauguration Day. I know by the end of January, 8 years ago, President Obama had essentially his full cabinet in place. We want to do the same thing for President-elect Trump.
Right. Back to Russia for a second. What's the relationship you think this country should have with Russia, that we should have with Putin?
Well, I think that Putin specifically has been a thug, a bully. We know about hacking, but we also know that it's way beyond what happens in the cyber world. He has been very aggressive over the last number of years, and I think that it's because of the weakness shown by President Obama in terms of deterrence. We have not deterred. We had the capacity to deter, but President Obama has not shown the commitment, nor has he communicated a willingness to deter what's happening around the world. And such as Putin, we've seen it with North Korea, we've seen it in Syria, and I just think that we have been showing and demonstrating and communicating weakness instead of strength.
Senator, you just used the word thug. You used other critical language to speak about Putin. President-elect Trump has used much more glowing terms. How do you feel about that?
Well, President-elect Trump will be the president come January 20th. He is going to have a relationship with leaders around the world. What I've seen as a member of the Foreign Relations Committee over the past number of years and been to NATO nations and been to Russia, have great concerns about Vladimir Putin and what his personal intentions are to restore the former Soviet Union to what he believes is great glory.
So, Senator, in terms of replace and repeal and replace, what's the key thing on the replace? What can be done immediately to allay the fears of many that say you should just let it die a slow death itself instead of owning it? Because if you repeal it, becomes, is it Trump care or Trumpo care or Trumpacare? What do you think? Is it what will the word be? Probably be Trump care, and that's frightening to to have to fix something that you didn't break in the first place.
Well, Joe, it's been 6 years of Obamacare malpractice that got us to this place where 8 out of 10 Americans say we need to either repeal and replace or fundamentally change the health care law. Obamacare has failed. Costs have gone way up. Choices have gone way down. So we need to do something. We agree as Republicans on the fundamental principles behind it, in terms of eliminating the mandates, in terms of freedom in the insurance market so people can buy insurance across state lines and they can buy what works for them and their families, not what President Obama said they have to buy. We need to do Medicaid reform, get the decisions made at the state level and back at home with individuals, because as a doctor, I'm focused on patients, putting resources into patients' hands, not more government control.
Okay. Senator, we always appreciate speaking with you and your time this morning. Wish you luck at the hearing.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you.